talking about infidelity and betrayal. It's a strain on the relationship. Okay, there's some self-harming happening. We ain't talking about self-healing right now, but we're going to talk about it. Hey guys, this is Lovely, your infidelity and confidence rebuilding coach, and welcome back to video 2 in the Understanding Betrayal and its Emotional Impact series. And today we're actually going to dig into anger, right? Understanding and managing resentment. In our last video, we focused on shock, processing the initial disbelief of, you did what? What is happening? I'm confused. Can you repeat that? Yeah, I heard what you said. But today we're going to talk about anger and understanding managing resentment, because mother flubber, I had to go to therapy to learn how to be angry, because my anger, we're being professional people. Oh my gosh. I was about to say some stuff. It's going to be on the internet forever, and you can't do that because that's how you go to jail. Anyway, so why does anger arise, right? The betrayal disrupts your sense of fairness and justice, triggering anger. Okay. And because we're always taught that we need to be humble and we need to downplay our emotions and that we need to understand people and we should always be forgiving as people who believe in a higher God and all of these things, right? That we forget that anger is a natural reaction to what you're going through. It's a signal of unmet expectations. In my head, sometimes when I hear people say, you just need to pray on it, or you have to forgive. There was a day when the Lord was upset at some things that wasn't going right. There were times when you read the Bible and you knew that the tone was very different. There was some unmet expectations and some anger and a punishment, right? So let's stay real honest about what your emotions should be, how you should feel, where you should go. Everybody's very different, okay? So stop with the judgy judge. Come back with compassion and listening. Stop with the judgy judge. Come back with compassion and listening. Whew. So let's come back to the importance of managing anger, right? So unchecked anger can harm self-healing and strain relationships. Babe, we talking about infidelity and betrayal. It's a strain on the relationship. Okay, there's some self-harming happening. We ain't talking about self-healing right now, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to reframe anger as a tool for growth when managing it correctly. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm really mad, really mad, I can get some things done. Does it always look good? No. Is it always done in the correct order? No. Am I always saying the right thing? No. All right. I've had to pray a couple times. Go and repent. Dear Father, please forgive me because I have done some things that I'm not truly proud of. But we got this. Anyway, so one of the things that happens when you are dealing with that anger and resentment is that it can manifest itself in so many different ways, right? So physically, it can be like a clenched fist, tight jaw, racing heart, high blood pressure. It could be that your sight feels blurry because of how angry you are. It can be that you're sweating. You could be pacing. Remember these things. Or you could be so uncomfortably calm because now you know the truth. And that anger is brewing behind that wall of calmness, right? Or you could have emotional outbursts, snapping at other people, lashing out, throwing bows. You know what? I'm not condemning any of these things. I'm just saying that real life shit happens, okay? This be hot girl shit for real. And I can't stop that. Or you could keep having like persistent dialogue in your own head about how could this happen? How could this happen to me? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Again, I'm going to say it. This has nothing to do with you. This is about somebody else's character. If they were going to do it, they were going to do it. If they weren't going to do it, they weren't going to do it. I need you to stop condemning yourself for things that you would not do to other people, right? Like, that's just how we need to talk to ourselves. And I'm just going to keep saying it because you don't believe it. And I've been through it. So I want you to know that I'm not just talking out of my ass. So let's talk about reflection exercises, right? Identifying anger triggers. Listen to me. I need you to know the people, places, and things that's going to trigger you. I need you to know the specific events, the actions, the thoughts that provoke your anger. I need you to really get in contact with your inner thoughts and your inner dialogue. I need you to remember that we all have traps and triggers that cause us to say some things and do some things that in a regular, healthy setting, we would normally not do, right? And I want us to remember that we are allowed to feel our emotions, but we want to make sure that our emotions don't lead us. I know that it can feel real good in the moment to say, do, and have some actions that cause you to really step out of your character. But we got to deal with the repercussions after that's over, right? And one of the things that we can reflect on is, what does this anger tell me about what I value and need, right? Because we want to take this anger and we want to build on it so that it becomes a success story for us in our healing journey, right? And what anger can tell you, can teach you about your boundaries. It can teach you about communication style. It can teach you about trust. It can teach you about honesty. It can teach you about loyalty. It can teach you about compassion. It can teach you about what your triggers are. It can teach you about the people that you allow in your life and how you perceive them and how you perceive yourself, right? So, and also it can teach you to focus on what you value in you, what you value in others, what you value in relationships, right? And this is platonic and intimate, right? It's just, I want us to really think about that and not get stuck in this place where we are trying to be professional about anger. Like, it's an emotion, babes. It's an emotion. And if you have to process your emotions in a very professional way, you aren't really allowing yourself to feel those emotions. Some people, when they're angry, they become very resolute in what they will and won't deal with. Some people, when they're angry, become unhinged, and then they wake up and realize there's some things that they wish they didn't do. So let's talk about physical outlets for anger that do not cause you to go into the jail. I told you I can't visit you in jail. I cannot visit you in jail because the clanks give me cold. They give me cold. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we want to talk about, maybe exercise becomes your thing, right? Maybe you want to learn how to box. You want to learn how to run. You want to learn yoga. You take up kickboxing. You want to punch pillows. You want to scream. You want to go to a rage room. I'm really big, and going out and hitting things that can't hit you back is great, right? But it's intangible things that you really want to focus on, right? You want to learn how to punch a pillow mentally, and then learn how to de-escalate that anger mentally as well. That's why we talk about yoga. That's why we talk about meditating. That's why we talk about things that can help you de-escalate the anger that's in your body. But you also want to get it out. You may be the person who can turn on a playlist and listen to like 3-4 songs, and I mean Just dance your pain away. Dance it away. You may need to express yourself in that way. Poetry might be your thing. You might be great with the pen. You may be great with typing it out. Maybe it's that you need to vlog or blog personally, because once you put your information out there, it's out there, and now you have to deal with the interaction of other people, and that's not something that you want to do right away, right? You need to figure out where you are so that you're going to get good feedback and you're going to get bad feedback. And can you handle that feedback as it comes back? Like, that may be too many ways, but that also allows you to be creative in how you handle the things that you do. Maybe painting is your thing or art is your thing. It may be that those are the ways that you process your emotions. And if those are the ways that you process your emotions, don't change that. Don't think that you have to fight and swing and holler and act like a person that you're not in order to get your point across, because don't let anybody change you. Okay? The fundamentals of who you are in this kind of situation will cause people to test your every sense of being, your every character flaw that you have, everything that you've been working so hard to rebuild and build and connect with. It will test that. But I really warn you about allowing other people to change your character and making you out to be the bad guy because you reacted to some shit that they did and now they want to play the victim. It get real funky in there. And boy, whoo. But I also want us to learn how to do calming exercises. This is why I talk about meditation or yoga, Reiki. Oh my God, that would be so great to really have someone center you and really look at your different points in your body and help you just learn how to decompress those. Again, learning how to do breathing exercises, focus exercises, learning how to do progressive muscle relaxations. You want to think about what's happening and you want to focus on a part of your body that reacts first. And you want to tense that part of your body up, right? Because that's what progressive muscle relaxation is, right? It's systematically tensing and releasing muscle groups that are tense and stressed out. And some of these things will be so unfamiliar to you. Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I was able to do a lot of this stuff. Some of the stuff I didn't know about, right? I didn't learn about it until I was going through it. And that's what made me really want to work with just people who are trying to figure it out. Like, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I feel? Shit, tell me something. And then give me a plan so that I can make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense right now, right? I know that is overwhelming. I know that you're like, all of this sounds like BS. I don't want to do any of it. I just want to sleep. I want to get underneath a cover. I want to go away. I want to find a place where I can just not have to talk to anybody. And for many of us, we don't have that choice. We still have to go to work. We still have to pay the bills. We still have to live a life. We still have to do all of these many things. And believe me, when you're going through stuff like this, it can feel like I shouldn't be here. I don't want to be here. But you not being here, you're going to miss out on that glorious moment when you heal and you just like look back and be like, that was really fucked up, but my God, am I in a good space right now? And that's where we're working to getting to that healing part right there. So today's affirmation will be, I honor my anger as a signal of my worth. I choose to channel it into healing and self-growth. I honor my anger as a signal of my worth. I choose to channel it into healing and self-growth. I honor my anger as a signal of my worth. I choose to channel it into healing and self-growth. I honor my anger as a signal of my worth. I choose to channel it into healing and self-growth. I honor my anger as a signal of my worth. I choose to channel it into healing and self-growth. Anger can absolutely be a very compelling emotion to help you learn or understand what rebuilding, pivoting, recreating, and releasing a lot of the stress and tension and unmet expectations that you have, and learning how to let those things go. But you have to feel your emotions. They're valid. You have to feel your emotions. They're valid. You have to feel your emotions. They're valid, right? So that you can get to a space where the anger does not eat you alive. And this is why we're learning to articulate our feelings, wants, needs, and desires so that we can better advocate for ourselves and the people that we love, right? Being able to advocate for someone and allow them safe spaces to be angry, allowing them to understand that shock is a part of the process is so big. You don't realize how big it is until someone allows you to feel your emotions, until someone allows you a safe space to be raw and honest and open. It is one of the best feelings, honestly, that you can have, because as you're healing and going through this process, you'll look back at yourself and be like, I absolutely felt everything. And though it was horrible, I was allowed to feel everything so that I could process it in a way that made sense for me, because healing is so personal. And that's why we talk about these things. That's why we are breaking the stigma of keeping these things pent up inside. So, I want us to remember this is a series. And in video 3, we're going to talk about feeling a deep sense of betrayal and loss of trust. That's what we're going to talk about in video 3. Like, share, subscribe, follow. We're building a community. And it can be difficult to build a community, especially when we're talking about such hard topics. But remember, we're not just talking about infidelity. We're also rebuilding our confidence. We are talking about rebuilding trust in ourselves. We're talking about building better boundaries. We're talking about building ourselves from the inside out. We may be going through some things, but we ain't always got to look like what we've been through. Okay. And that's why I talk about rebuilding confidence and learning how to express yourself in as many ways as possible so that you can bring your whole self to the table. Anyway, y'all be good, because it can be a bit much, but we're going to be a bit much together. All right, guys. Bye.